money right was yesterday. The next best time is today. I know, I get it. I've been there. Credit card debt, bills piling up, and not taking those calls. I was making good money, but still living paycheck to paycheck. I didn't know what I didn't know. I was embarrassed and I was ashamed. Can you relate? But I have good news. You can take action today. It's not too late. Hi, I'm Dignity Coach MarieYolaine, and I am here to empower you to reclaim dignity in your finances. The Bible says, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. And sometimes with our finances, we are looking for evidence to give us a guarantee about everything we're going to do with our finances. We want to make sure that it aligns with everything, that it is in line. And that sometimes makes us stuck. Sometimes when we're trying to do everything, we end up doing nothing. You ever notice that you will see something that you want, and you either are going to talk yourself out of it or you're going to talk yourself into it? Do you know why you do that? Because you don't have a baseline of alignment with yourself of what your values are to help you make a decision. I've been like that most of my life. I've been making decisions on emotion, not on my values. I'm going to say that again. I've been making my decisions based on my emotions, not on my values. And the problem with that is my emotions go up and down. My values stay the same. And once you use that, it really brings your money relationship and arguably your money healing in line as you make your decisions based on your values. Think about that, because that's what we're going to be getting into today. Welcome to Dignity in Dollars. I am Coach MarieYolaine, and I'm your host today. And just thinking about what is the next faithful step that you can take, with faith being the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. As you think about your finances, what is the next faithful step, the one next thing you can do? Not figure it all out, but just the next one step that you can take that will get you closer to your goal. I'm glad you're here, because today we're talking about values-based spending and aligning money with what matters most to you. This is such an important conversation because a lot of people do not just struggle with money. They struggle with how they feel about money. They feel guilt. They feel pressure. They feel shame, overspending. They question themselves. They don't believe that they deserve it as wealth. And maybe you've wondered this. Why do I keep doing this? But many times the real issue is not that you are bad with money. This is what we often tell ourselves. And as your accountability partner, I'm going to challenge that, because I think that statement is a cop-out. I said it, and I know I stepped on multiple toes right now. So curl them back if you don't want me to step on them again, or don't wear open-toed shoes to Dignity in Dollars. Saying I'm bad with money, that's a statement with a period at the end of it. When you say that, you create the environment, first of all, to make that true. Think about that. It's a declaration that you are making. I am bad with money. As a result of saying that, you're now training your mind to make that true. You're not going to be open to take a class or a workshop or read a book or read a blog or an article or speak with a financial advisor or a counselor because you believe you are bad with money. That is the filter through which you are looking at the world. And that is what you believe about yourself. And belief is the most powerful thing in the universe, not just the earth. Okay, I covered the entire cosmos. If you believe that, nothing will change until you don't believe it anymore. But that requires action. So I'm saying it again. If you're saying I'm not good with money, I've never been good with money, that is a cop out, because that is your excuse not to get good with money, not to take the class, not to take the workshop, not to read, not to ask for help. And if you always do what you always did, you're always going to get what you always got, which means that 5 years from now, when you're saying you're not good with money, that's because you said it 5 years ago. And therefore, no action was taken, and therefore you're in the same place. I offer you to think about things in a different way and start saying different things out of your mouth so your ear gate can hear it. I want to be good with money. I can be good with money. I want to learn how. I'm learning how to be good with money, even if it is not true right now, today, in this moment. Those very words, from a neuro-linguistic standpoint, from neuroscience standpoint, you are already starting to change your mind because you are saying a whole different sentence. And your ear hears that, and it goes inside of you. Understand that your subconscious is only doing what you said and only believing what you believe. So I'm pushing back early on this, that the truth is you can be good with money, you will be good with money, you are good with money. But you need to start saying that, and you need to take action towards that. Because as we continue to talk about values, that has to be one of your values. I value money, and therefore I take classes, go to workshops, and engage in conversations with people who are good with money because I want to get good with money. That's what we do in Focus Fire, whether it is attending the 4 Keys to Master Your Money Without a Budget You Hate, which is happening this Saturday, by the way, or joining our Financial Liberation Bootcamp, or being in our community. People come in with that mindset, but they can't stay there. I refuse to let them stay there. So there are exercises we engage in. There is homework. There are conversations. There's healing that takes place. So we dismantle that old mindset and we create one that is in alignment. Because the last thing I want you to do is speak bad about yourself. I want you to speak good about yourself. All right, I'm going to get off your toes, but I'll probably be right back. So I'm just letting you know. So as I said before, the real issue is not that you are bad with money. The real issue is that your spending may not be lined up with what matters to you most. This is something a lot of people miss because of the guilt and the shame and the generational behavior that was passed down to you. But today, that's going to change. Today, I want to help you to get clearer, not harder on yourself, clearer. We're going to be talking about values clarity, spending without guilt, and intentional choices. And I'm going to share some sobering statistics, but also 3 actions that you can take this week, arguably today. So let's get into it. Values are what matters most to you. And what matters most to you may not be the same for me. You may be health focused, and I may be focused on a totally different thing. My family might be the most important thing to me. My job might be the most important thing to me. And health might be number 3. And for you, it might be the flip. Your faith might be the most important thing to you. This is going to take a little bit of introspection of asking yourself that question. What is important to me? And you may have to step back and look at your life. Look at the last week. Where did you spend the most of your time? That will tell you what's important to you, whether you know it or not. It's the difference of saying, like, I spend most of my time sitting. Didn't notice that. I'm very sedentary. I need to go to the gym. I need to get up and walk around the house. I need to take walks. When we are not conscious of the fact that we sit down a lot, and this is just math, y'all. So if I go to work and I work 8 hours a day and I'm sitting down, 8 times 5 is 40. So I spend 40 hours of my week sitting down. I don't notice that, but I notice my neck hurts, my shoulders hurt, my lower back hurts, my hips hurt. It's hard to get up. Oh my gosh, it takes a little while for me to stretch out and get out of my bed. I'm helping you to make the connection today. The reason that you feel that way is because you're sitting down for 40 hours and your spine is compressed. So what is your next faithful step? The next thing you can do is stretch. That you can actually even do in your chair. Then from there, take a walk around the house. I'm trying to dispel any of the excuses. Around the house. Then if you can't walk around the house, after you get good at that, rather, go outside. Walk around for 5 minutes. Stretch some more. There are trees all over the place. You can just put your hand up against one and stretch. Got it? Okay. So again, look at the last month of your life. Where did you go? Who did you hang out with? What are you putting in your mind? What are you reading? What are you eating? Those are the things that are important to you. Whether or not they are good for you is a whole other question. I just want you to see the things that you are doing because they shape how you want to live. Your values shape what feels important. They shape what feels worth it. For example, your values might be peace, family, health, freedom, faith, stability, rest, growth, generosity, joy. These are just some of them. I'm sure now that I've shared that with you, you could probably come up with 10 more of your own. Now, when your spending lines up with your values, you often find more peace. When your spending does not line up with your values, that is when guilt can show up. For example, if peace matters to you, constant overspending will leave you feeling unsettled. You bought it, but you don't feel good about it. You don't have peace about it. It made you feel good at the time because you had a hard day at work or a hard week at work, and going to the 3-lettered shoe store is what you felt was going to make you feel better. And it did. The rush, the trying on the shoes, the thinking about the 3 or 4 different dresses, outfits you're going to match with the shoes, all of that feels amazing. And then you swipe the card, you got your 2 bags, you're walking out of the store like they do in the commercial and you're feeling good about yourself. And you put them in the car and you drive home feeling extra sexy. But after you leave them at the house, maybe the next day you walk back into the room where you left them and you're like, did I buy those shoes? Why did I buy those shoes? I don't need those shoes. And I'm talking to myself because I've done that multiple times. And then now I don't have peace. Now I'm flustered. Now I feel bad. Now I feel guilty. Now I have to go return these things. This is not the way to live. Hey, Linda Sam, I'm just calling out, checking the chat here. Oh, I love what you're saying here. Yes, exactly. Linda says, thank you for my transformation. I don't care what people think. Oh, thank you. Listen, my special gift about mastering money came from misery. So amen. I give God the glory for that, because out of that, now I have a message and a ministry to help others just like you. So that made me feel awesome. Thank you, Linda. I'm glad you're here. Again, if peace matters to you, then your purchases should bring you peace. They should not disturb your peace. If health matters to you, but you never make room in your budget for care, support, or rest, something feels off, right? This is when we say, oh, I'm going to work. I'm not going to go to the gym. I'll work another hour. I'll go to the gym tomorrow. I'll take the walk tomorrow. I'll go swimming tomorrow. your body starts to feel it. And then your body starts to tell you, hello, the working yourself to death will yield you nothing. I do not know if you all remember a couple years ago, they did a story. It was a company in, I'm going to say it was China, where, the cube life, people living in their cubicles and working, and where someone had actually passed away at their cube and no one noticed. They thought they were just napping because everyone is so dialed in to work, not care, work. And listen, I'm a fan of work. Literally, the Bible says that the laborer is due their pay, and all work is honorable. Nowhere, though, does it say work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, get no rest, spend no time with your family, don't sleep, don't eat. It does not say that. In fact, it's very clear that on the seventh day, rest must happen. So, as my pastor would say, that was free. If family matters to you, you may feel good spending on shared experiences, but not so good spending to impress other people. Like Linda just said, I don't care. I don't care what people think. Amen. That is freedom. That is liberation. When your money is not tied to what other people think, and you do not care what they think about your purchases or how you're spending, saving, giving, investing your money, you've reached another level. Because this entire system is built on feeding us to care about what the Joneses think and to keep up with them. So if they bought a new car, we need to get another car. If they did a whole new thing to their lawn, we got to do a new thing to our lawn. They bought their kid a car, we got to buy our kid a car. Not because we can afford it, not because we even really wanted to do it, not even because we're big on, fixing our lawn. Like we were good with the trees and the flowers that were there. But we are driven by this fuel to impress people who, newsflash, are not even thinking about us. So the funds you spend as it relates to your family should be experiences that you can feel good about for you, for your family, not for anyone else. This is why values-based spending matters. It helps you stop asking, was this good or bad? And start asking, was this in alignment or not? Did this purchase, was it in alignment with my values? Or was this purchase in conflict? Is this causing tension in my values? Practicing this gives you so much peace when you shop with your values and not with your emotions. Asking yourself if this is aligned is a much more healing question. It's not a judgment question against you. It does not involve your feelings. It is, this is what I value, so I'm purchasing this. Or I don't value this, so I'm not purchasing this. I encourage you to really spend some time with this values concept. It is, I'm incorporating it more now, and I can see the changes that it's having for me. And peace is the best one that I'm getting out of it. So here are some sobering statistics. 3 real numbers that help show why this conversation matters. Number 1, did you know that 66% of US adults say money is a significant source of stress? This is from the American Psychological Association. 66%. You would think with all of the commercials we see that everybody should be so happy, but they're not. And there are people making 6, 7, multiple 7 figures who are not happy. So clearly money is not the source of this. Perhaps it's alignment. Perhaps they're making all of the money, but it is not in alignment with their values. Perhaps they're making the money and they thought the money was going to make them happy, and it is not. And that is how you end up in the 66%. And then you're stressed out. which then impacts your health. That means if money has felt heavy to you, you're not alone. You're not alone. There are many of us that money has caused us stress, that having it caused us stress, not having it caused us stress, not having enough, having too much. I don't even know if that's a concept, but there are people who do have that problem because they don't know what to do with it. You're not alone. Getting in community is so important as it relates to your money journey. Do not try to do this alone. Half of the stuff you feel was handed down from your generation, the generation before you anyway. So you have an opportunity for something to stop with you and to start with you. Don't go through this journey by yourself. Get in community with people who are either where you were, where you are, or where you want to be. That is how you grow. Not in isolation, but in community with people. At Focus Fire, we're very passionate about this, which is why most people who take the Master Your Money Without a Budget You Hate workshop go into the Financial Liberation Bootcamp and then also join our community. So from the workshop, you're with a group of people who are going through the same thing. Those people decide to take the bootcamp because they're now evolving. And usually folks get really tight because they're like, hey, I went through this with this person. And then in the community, we just keep it going. Why do we do that? Because most of us have been carrying this for decades with an S. So you can't expect that on one Saturday morning, everything's going to come together and be fixed. No, that's not how it works. It's going to take time. So that's why you have to give yourself the grace of knowing that, oh, the light bulb has gone off. The miseducation of Lauryn Hill and MarieYolaine and Linda, all of those are real. So now that we realize that, what is the plan? What is the process? How long is it going to take? Because now, technically, I'm in recovery because I got the revelation. So now I have to apply it. I have to practice it. I have to undo, and I have to change my mind, and that takes time. So this journey takes a lot of grace. It takes a lot of grace. So I'm just letting you know that. Here's another statistic. 37% of adults would need to borrow, sell something, or otherwise could not fully cover a $400 emergency expense with cash or its equivalent. Did you hear me? $400. Imagine what the people who are keeping up with the Joneses. Theirs is probably 10 times that. So an emergency of $400 would make all the dominoes fall. Is that you? Are you in that situation right now where you are like one paycheck from drama, or one paycheck from everybody finding out how this whole web is held together? If that's you, you definitely need to be at the Master Your Money Without a Budget You Hate workshop this Saturday. It's not a sustainable way of life. Most Americans are 2 paychecks away from drama and $50,000 in debt. And if you have a mortgage, it's $104,000. And we can talk about that more at the Master Your Money workshop. Because I know a lot of you are tuning in because your money's been mastering you and you want to master your money. That is what we help you to do. So I'm just saying, today's a good day to start over, to make different decisions, to go in different directions. So the link is in the comments, or you can go to focusfire.life/masteryourmoney and register. So the fact that most people are $400 away from an emergency that will tip the scales, they do not have 3 months or 6 months of emergency cash, tells me that many people are making money choices while already carrying pressure. So imagine that you're working so hard But when is that going to stop? That can't be your lot in life, to just keep working hard all the time. Until retirement? When in truth, we don't even know if that's going to last. If the whole Social Security thing is going to really be here for us or our children or our grandchildren. We need a better plan. We need to master our money. We need to know how to make, save, invest, give, and spend. That is how we put everything in alignment, and then we have peace and time. Having peace with your money buys you back time. Getting in alignment with your money and healing your relationship with it gives you back time so that you're not thinking about it all the time. Here's another statistic. 46% of credit card owners carried a balance at least once in the past year. Do you know how much money that the credit card companies are making off of you not paying your balance completely off every month? Billions. They literally do not want you to master your money, because that mindset is their business method that keeps them in business. I have not paid my balance in full for a good 5 years now, because I have budgeted so that I know at the end of the month, when the credit card bill comes, I have already allocated the funds, so everything is paid off in full. Now I'm enjoying the points. Now I like going to BJ's and they're like, oh, you have an extra $100. Would you like to use that towards this purchase? Yes. Yes, I would. So the $200 worth of groceries were only $100. I like that. It's a nice surprise when I get up to the counter. As opposed to, I am not sure if the thing I'm purchasing right now, I will be able to pay later. I do not want that for you. I want money peace, money healing, money alignment for you. So again, if you felt stretched, you're not the only one. This is why shame does not help. Clarity helps. Support helps. Systems that teach you how to master your money helps. Financial well-being includes being able to make choices that allow you to enjoy your life. This is from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. You want your choices to allow you to enjoy your life. You don't want your choices to create a stressful life. That's powerful, because money is not only about paying bills. It is also about building a life that feels true to you. Because you're the one working hard for the money, so you should be the one deciding where it goes and what kind of relationship you're going to have. So let's talk about spending without guilt. A lot of people feel guilty when they spend money. They feel guilty about buying something fun. They feel guilty about resting. They feel guilty paying for convenience. They feel guilty investing in help. They even feel guilty spending on things they truly need. But guilt is not always a sign that you did something wrong. Sometimes guilt is a sign that you have to stop giving yourself, that you have not stopped to give yourself permission to spend in a way that reflects your values. So that guilt could be telling you something like, hey, this is not in value. This is not in alignment. And if that's the case, it's helping you. Because what is this? There's another scripture I love. The blessings of the Lord maketh rich and add no sorrow. So your wealth and your ability to amass, make money, spend money should be making you feel good and peaceful, not sorrowful, especially when it reflects your values. If you value rest, then paying for something that protects your peace is aligned. If you value growth, then paying for learning, paying for workshops, paying for to be in communities, for membership, to be around people that will help you get to where you want to go is aligned. If you value, if you value health, then paying for care, joining the gym, a dance class, or like me, skating, ice skating class is aligned. If you value time, then paying for support is aligned. Values-based spending does not mean spending without limits. It means spending with intention. It means you know your why. And when you know your why, your money choices can feel more grounded, more anchored, and they will bring you no sorrow. Here's my gift to you. 3 simple actions you can take this week, arguably today. Number 1, name your top 3 values. Ask yourself, what matters most to me right now? Pick 3 words. I've given you a bunch since we started this conversation. Pick 3 words, things that are valuable to you, that matter to you. Maybe it's peace, maybe it's family or freedom, right? So peace, family, and freedom. That could be your 3. Maybe it's healing, stability, and health. Maybe it's joy, faith, and growth. Write them down, because when you do not know your values, everything feels important. There can only be one number 1. Priorities are not linear, they're vertical. So what are your values? What are the top 3 things that you value the most, that matter the most to you? Because as I said, when you don't know what your values are, everything feels important. And when everything feels important, your money can feel scattered. Will you do that for me? 3. Okay. Action number 2, look at 1 week of spending without judgment. Just go look at your last week of spending. Do not shame yourself. Just notice and ask, did my spending match my values? Where did I feel good? Where did I feel regret? Where did I feel aligned? Where did it feel off? What felt off? This is not about blame. This is about truth. Because with truth, you can make a plan. And action number 3, choose 1 intentional money rule. Just 1. Create 1 simple rule based on your values. Here are some examples. I will spend on convenience when it protects my peace. I will pause 24 hours before buying something that is not planned. I will make room for 1 thing each month that supports my health. I use myself again as an example for this when I chose my ice skating class. So once a week, I go ice skating because health is important to me. That is one of my top 3 things that matter to me a lot, is my health. So taking this class has changed everything for me because it gets me out the house, it gets me out my head, and gets me away into another environment that helps to balance me. So for this one, I will make room for 1 thing each month that supports my health. I'm doing that one. I will stop spending to impress people. That's one. All of us should have that on our list. Make it simple, make it personal, make it yours. You do not need to feel guilty every time you spend money. You do not need to copy someone else's money rules. You do not need a plan that ignores your real life. You need clarity, you need honesty, and you need a way of using money that reflects what matters to you. That is what values-based spending is all about. It's not about perfection. It's about alignment. So we want to go from this to this. But it takes time. It does not happen overnight. Give yourself the grace for the time it's going to take to get here. That is the best gift you can give to yourself today before you engage in any of these actions is, I forgive myself for the money decisions that I have made. And I release the money teachings that I have received from my family, my friends, the society that were not in my best interest. And I give myself grace to learn a new way to handle my money because I will be good with money. That's my prayer for you. That's my prayer for you. If today's conversation spoke to you and you're ready to go deeper, I want to invite you to my 4 Keys to Master Your Money Without a Budget You Hate workshop this Saturday. Inside, we go beyond pressure and shame. You will learn how to understand your money more clearly, make decisions with confidence, and build a system that fits your life and create more peace in your financial life. And who doesn't want that? If you're tired of feeling confused, guilty, or you're just stuck, this workshop is for you. Come join us. Stop forcing discipline and start building a money system that works for you. Register through the link in the comments or go to focusfire.life master your money. I hope that what was shared today was helpful to you. And I pray for healing for you. I pray you give yourself grace on this money journey. You will get there. The fact that you're here is an indication that you are taking intentional action to change your relationship with money, heal your relationship with money, and start a whole new relationship that works for you. So thank you for being here with me on another episode of Dignity and Dollars. Remember, your money should support your life, not control it. You are allowed to make intentional choices. You are allowed to grow. You are allowed to heal your relationship with money. And remember, what you desire, you deserve. I'll see you next time.